Hello, everyone. I wanted to put together a lecture here of sorts to cover some of the material on the theories of attachment, especially those developed by doctors Harry and Margaret Harlow. All right. Their studies, while controversial, really did teach us a lot about what attachment was based off of. So let's begin. When you talk about attachment, and if you were to ask someone, what is attachment based off of? All right. I think a lot of people would be quick to tell you that attachment is based off of feeding. If you've ever had a dog in the neighborhood that barked at you every time you walked past, throw it a treat once or twice, and you'll have a dog that goes from barking at you to getting all happy when you walk on by. Besides, you need food to survive, so it makes a lot of sense that that would be a necessity to make things work. The question is attachment primarily based off of food, or could it be based off of something else, which is physical contact? All right. And if physical contact is a contributing factor, how much of each? Is food a bigger source of attachment? Is physical contact? Is it 50-50, 60-40, that kind of thing? So Doctors Harry and Margaret Harlow. I only have a picture of Dr. Harry Harlow here. He was actually married twice. One wife, Margaret Kuhn Harlow, and then he had a second wife, Clara Harlow. Um, Basically, one wife, I believe, passed away. Margaret died from cancer, and then he had remarried. But anyways, that's sidetracking. Dr. Harlow was able to do studies using rhesus monkeys, and he would actually take monkeys from their mothers soon after birth. And his entire study focused on the idea of looking at the importance of feeding versus contact in forming attachments. So, what Dr. Harlow did in these experiments with these rhesus monkeys is he exposed them to one of two environments. All right. In one environment, they were exposed to what he called surrogate mothers. Now, there were two types of surrogate mothers that these monkeys were exposed to. They were either exposed to what we would call a wire surrogate or a cloth surrogate. Now, a wire surrogate, as you look at the picture of that rhesus monkey, is the one to the right that has the bottle, okay, the milk bottle. The wire surrogate was not very comfortable to the touch. The face didn't look very much like that of a monkey, but it did feed. So it was low on the comfort scale, but high on the feeding scale. The other monkey that you see that the rhesus monkey is next to is what is called a cloth surrogate. Now, the cloth surrogate was much more comfortable to the touch, but as you can see, it did not feed. There was no bottle present there. And so these rhesus monkeys were put into a box where they were exposed to either one surrogate or the other. This experiment was done in many ways, but in one such way of doing the experiment, monkeys were exposed to either the wire surrogate or the cloth surrogate for a period of time. And then they were put into a box where they had the choice of both. And when put into the box and given the choice of both, it was sort of interesting which one they went to. Those monkeys who were originally exposed to the cloth surrogate, when given the choice between a cloth or a wire surrogate, all right, they went to the cloth. They'd been exposed to a cloth surrogate, and when given the choice, they went to the cloth, all right? Those monkeys who were originally exposed to a wire surrogate, when given a choice, also went to the cloth, which was sort of surprising. Excuse me, I'm sorry. In fact, in doing the study, Doctors Harry and Margaret Harlow, in terms of the amount of time spent, over 90% of rhesus monkey's waking hours were spent holding on to the cloth surrogate, and less than 10% of the time of its waking hours was spent with the wire surrogate. So, what it told us was that in spite of the fact that you need food to live, you basically need comfort. And it's pretty safe to say that babies are the same way. Babies like to be held. They need that kind of physical contact. Yes, they have to eat, but what it boils down to is what we refer to as contact comfort. When you hold an infant, and even later a toddler, you are communicating with them. You are letting them know they're safe. you're letting them know they're secure, that they're going to be fine. And that's very important. There is a video on YouTube, okay, of the Harlow study. And I will put it under the modules tab so you can turn around and click on it and watch it. About the first 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes is all you really need to see. It gets into other elements, which aren't bad. They're just not as relevant as the first 2.5 minutes of the video are. And you can see the monkey as it has a choice. It's actual videotape footage. It's a little dramatized, but it does make the point. So hold on to those kids. That's what they like. It really does make a difference. Take care.